I was working on an introduction for this panel, but I came across a couple of videos and I thought there are people better than me who would explain it. So I'll ask my team to play those videos and then I'm going to invite my panelists on stage.
We are now living in a world, as of last week, where if it's on a screen, it will be artificial. Or it could be artificial. Sora, what that's really kind of replacing TikTok and Instagram, and it's pretty obvious what Instagram's going to do to follow them. The Sora videos are showing up on Instagram, so Mark is going to make all the content AI generated, and then that's going to get boosted over influencers. They're going to have a freak out, and this is going to be a big problem. And that's happening like in weeks, not months, unfortunately. And so you want to ride a trend, or you ride the opposite of a trend. And the opposite of artificial is real. And so I think that the real world will not change that much in the next 3 years. I think we're going to basically create this digital world staring at a screen that's highly artificial. It's going to get more and more immersive, and there's going to be a physical world. So there has to be this movement to real.
पिछले कुछ दिनों में आपने मुंबई और अहमदाबाद में हुए कोल्ड प्ले कॉन्सर्ट की शानदार तस्वीरें देखी होगी। ये इस बात का प्रमाण है कि लाइव कॉन्सर्ट्स के लिए भारत में कितना स्कोप है। दुनिया के बड़े-बड़े कलाकार, बड़े-बड़े आर्टिस्ट भी भारत की तरफ आकर्षित हो रहे हैं। कंसर्ट इकोनॉमी से टूरिज्म भी बढ़ता है और बड़ी संख्या में जॉब्स क्रिएट होती है।
Right, so let me now invite my great panel on stage. So we have Daniel from Team Set Go. We have Chitra from Thrillophilia, Uttam from Head Out, and Sabbaji from Viscraft. Hi. Hi, nice to meet you. So I want to just start with defining live tourism, right? Because in some sense, it's a what is live tourism? Because tourism is always live, right? But live tourism, the way I see it, is traveling for something you could have experienced at your home, right? So think about a concert, think about a sports match, a cricket match, or think about an event like this, right? You could have had these Zoom calls. Why are we here today? Why is OTM full of 40,000 people from 80 countries? It's because there's something, this is something you probably can't do at home, and that's the thesis of this panel. And the introvert in me, growing up, would have loved to have it that way, but I now know the power of events, both personally and professionally. So let me open it up now, and I want to go around the stage asking for brief introductions of you all, and also tell us one last live experience that genuinely gave you goosebumps. Chitra, let's start with you.
At Thrillophilia, we do experience-led travel. Mm-hmm. And when I say experience-led travel, it could be standalone activities and experiences, or it could be full packages. Now, we're in the world of AI, we still believe that destinations will not create memories. Mm-hmm. And people travel for memories. And what will create memory is the experience and the people doing it together, which is where your events, your live experiences come and play a big role. Mm-hmm. I remember a couple of years ago, I was at Kofangan and doing the full moon party. While I'm not a party freak and I would not participate too much there, but the experience was actually giving me big goosebumps. When I remember it today also, I feel there could be a stampede also here. The kind of crowd, the kind of energy, it was crazy. It was maddening. And I think it is something that you can only experience when you go there live. No amount of reels, no amount of content, as well done, can actually match the experience that you get there. The social identity that you get by saying that the social proof that you get by saying that I was there at that moment. That's not something that can come in with the AI or with the digital content that we see.
Daniel?
Hi. Thanks, Umang. So at Dreams at Go, we focus around creating a home of very, very premium experiences. So we focus around sports, and we started to do music as well. We sell any sporting tournament from, so we're the partners for FIFA in India, we were the partners for the Summer Olympics in Paris or the Winter Olympics in Milan. So I don't think I can be on a much better panel than talking about live tourism than this. I think I echo what Chitra said, right? So I've, at least in the last 1.5 years, I've been to many live events, having been with this company. So, but I just want to take from what our Prime Minister just said, right? So I was at Coldplay at Ahmedabad with about 1.5 lakh people at the stadium screaming. And I also was guilty of spending 45,000 rupees and flying to Ahmedabad to see the concert and invariably buying an very expensive ticket as well. But I can tell you, I mean, what live tourism has done, I'm just taking Coldplay as an example, right? I mean, Ahmedabad had more than 3 lakh people who were at the stadium over the last 3 days. And all of you know the tickets got sold out in minutes, ranging anywhere from 2,500, which nobody got, but ranging upwards of 35,000, and people like us who spend more than 1 lakh to buy a ticket, right? So, and I don't know if you know this or not, I think that 3 days had highest number of visitors at the Ahmedabad airport, more than, I think, close to about 1.3, 1.4 lakh visitors. And total revenue or the impact of that it had on the overall experience economy that they speak about was upwards of close to 650 to 700 odd crores. And Ahmedabad alone, out of this, made about 350 crores and GST of about 75 crores. So that's the size, that's the impact that live tourism can have. And I think the Prime Minister spoke about it. And having now specializing in this space, I can tell you that the number of people who today travel even to see a Wimbledon final or the Winter Olympics, like we have about a group of 150 people going to Milan to see the Winter Olympics at -3 degrees, right? So it's fascinating to see how India is changing. And I think the market's already way ahead of, or the customers are way ahead in terms of what they're expecting the live tourism market to be. And I think we still, in terms of India's infrastructure, we're still way behind. But I think we'll get there.
Good evening, everybody. Time flies, right? I hope you all have been having a good time at OTM. Yes or no? Yes. Ah, that's good.
That's the only right answer.
And none of them are bots.
Yep.
And none of them have been bought either.
Yep.
Okay.
Not so sure about the second. But.
Well, we all bought anyway at some point in time. Most important is, I'm Sebastian Joseph, one of the co-founders of Wizcraft Entertainment Agency, the first ever live company, event company for India. So I'm sold on the idea of the anti-AI bet. Okay, this is my life. This is our lives, 4 of us out here. One has seen experiences from a Michael Jackson in India to a Coldplay and Jay-Z and Demi Lovato in India, in BKC itself, in 2016, not the recent one. One has been at that Coldplay concert, one has been at the football matches and the IPLs and the World Cups and everything else, and the F1. You can't replace that with technology. If you're not enjoying that experience, and if you're not there live, that experience doesn't exist for you. With the intensity, the passion, the experience, being there in that moment, not possible. For which people are ready to pay prices. The same ticket experience that you'd pay a few thousands, Dream Set Go charges you a few lakhs. Okay? Because of the premium experience and everything that comes with it, and they're able to package around it. Enhancing experiences, making it money can't buy, or rather money, only money can buy, has raised the bar. And in fact, I happen to be sitting on the live event development cell, which is promoted by the Prime Minister's office for the entire live concert economy. The entire concept of live concert economy, Wed in India, Meet in India, something that we are driving. And it is all about the multiplier effect. The multiplier effect, not just for us as experiences, but whilst we're going there for experiences, we're creating a big boost in the economy, the trigger. In the case of Coldplay, it was 750 crores. Just a few weeks later, the IFAs in Jaipur, one event in Jaipur, the impact was 1,250 crores. So each of these is adding a different level and a different decibel level. Literally, GST collection on Coldplay was 72 crores. One city, one artist, 72 crores. And that's only that what went from Book My Show to the government. Now, can you imagine each of the other vendors, everyone else who came into the ecosystem, you can imagine what that GST is all about. And hence you're impacting it both in economy, in terms of hospitality, even the hospitals beds were sold out. Hotels were sold out, but the hospital beds were also sold out. So that's how desperate people are to be part of live experiences. This is our time, and enjoy it.
It's like a multiplier effect.
It's a multiplier effect because you've got economy, you're creating you're building the local economy, you are building hospitality, retail, merchandising, you're creating experiences across restaurants, bars, etc. in the entire community. Think of flights, think of everyone moving from across the world. And the more it is money can't buy experiences, the more people want to go there, and more valuable it is from the personal perspective to the economic perspective. So it is a powerful business and a powerful opportunity that we're all woken up to in this decade or in this century. Post-COVID has been all about live experiences, and it's a great time to be in this business.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. Myself, Uttam. I represent Headout. Headout is a marketplace for real-life experiences. We've been doing this for 10 years, despite all the pressure to go into hotels, flights. We've stuck to this because we really believe in real-life experiences. Personally, one of the experiences that has stayed with me, it was more of a nature's live event when we went to Australia last year, and we saw small penguins coming out of the sea and going to their burrows. And I think it's not just the experience that you have, but the experience that has stayed with me is the joy that I saw with my kids, with my family, which cannot be replaced by AI. So you have to be there in the moment with people to be able to experience that. So that is what I think cannot be replaced by AI.
Fair. I kind of want to talk about now on what's changed after the pandemic, because something definitely feels different. And I want to tailor the question a bit based on what I know about your organization. So let's start with Chitra. One thing that definitely feels different is District is now talking about events, Swiggy scenes, Book My Show, what have you. So as a experience platform, do you see these guys as enablers, competitors? Where do they fit in?
It's a large ecosystem. You can call them enablers, you can call them competitors, anything, because at the end of it, they're also educators because people get to know about experiences from there. So I think all these definitions can coexist. Right. But when it comes to the end consumer, I think there's a major shift that we've seen, and the shift is around immersive experiences. It's not also about just doing things, it's about feeling the experience, and there's a difference in the two. I can touch and go destinations, I can touch and go places, I can do 5 countries in a tour, versus I can go and spend many days at a place, right? I can feel every single experience there. I go more local, right? So we've seen this demand rise up now. People are not hopping countries. From doing 5 countries in a Europe tour, it's drilling down to 2 countries in one tour, more and more. At times even 1 country in a tour. People are spending more on the local things there. And these could be nature walks, these could be plantation tours, these could be art and craft. People are spending more days at one destination. People are spending on nature stays. I think all of this is just a very clear indication that people are moving from doing transactions to being more experiential and feel the place, feel what they're doing.
Interesting. Daniel, I was talking to Manav from Gainwell off stage, and I was so surprised hearing, he was telling me there are companies which are spending 10 lakhs per person just on the sporting ticket. So I want to talk about that premiumization bit, which you know from the inside out. Tell us, what surprised you after the pandemic? What are people willing to pay for and how much, and whether the opportunity is more in the top 1% or is it that top 10%?
No, I think, see, post-pandemic, I'll just give you an example. See, when people used to plan travel earlier, it used to be first destination, then flights, then hotels, and then decide what they want to see in that destination. I think this whole funnel is now upside down, right? Now people actually decide based on an event or a experience that they want to see. It could be a concert, it could be a sporting event, it could be any of these, or just meeting a legend, and then go downwards, right? Then they decide on their flights and their hotels. So the whole funnel is on upside down. So and that's how big experiences will eventually become, right? Yeah, talking about the prices, I think 10,000 pounds is now much lower. It's gone far higher than that. No, I think people are ready to pay. I mean, I wouldn't say. I think it varies, right? I mean, if you look at the levels of premiumness in this segment, so you have the ultra HNIs who can even buy. So we are selling FIFA right now, right? So a box in FIFA could cost much 100 times more than what that amount is, right? So so people are buying. So you have you could buy a FIFA ticket for a final for $30,000. That's I'm just talking about the category 1 or category 2. Forget about the box tickets. That's far higher. So people are buying those kind of tickets for so specific events, like Wimbledon, right? Wimbledon for us grew almost 5-6x this year, and that people planned much early. And there a regular ticket average would be close to about 7,000 to 8,000 pounds for a final, and as you go up, it gets even more expensive. Or for example, F1 races, right? So at Abu Dhabi, we had a exclusive lounge at the finish line where prices could vary anywhere between $6,000 to $7,000, right? And we not only stopped with sporting, watching the experience, but we also get, like, for example, we had Gunther Stein on the box. So that experience, interacting with the legend, watching the race with the legend, I think it gives them a different level, right? And what we're also seeing is now, for example, we're building our own IPs in India. So we had David Beckham down a couple of months back. And the very fact that they're able to see their legend, interact with them, sometimes even have a meal with them, I think those are again priceless, right? So these are very few, and like what I think you mentioned, I mean, money can buy experiences. So I think that's how the market's moving. There is a price for everything, and people are ready to pay.
And from a share of wallet perspective, what percentage of the trip goes to the sporting ticket, and what would go to the travel cost? Because these folks who are paying $10,000 for the ticket, are they spending as much on hotel rooms or?
Yeah, I would say, it's a very good question. I think, if somebody's affording a 10,000 pound ticket, he's surely traveling business, right? So, and he's staying at the best hotels. Mm-hmm. And any time during tournaments, for example, we're doing this, I spoke about Winter Olympics in Milan. Now, for this group, we went about 1 year back and the hotels were sold out, right? I mean, you don't get inventory. So you're always paying top dollar for a room during an event in that city because everybody wants to charge more, they want to make money. I would say, 30-35% goes for the event, and I think rest is then flights and hotels and stuff.
Interesting. Sabashji, Vizcraft is the OG events company of India, I would say. So, and we heard the PM talk about how, the concert economy in India and so on. Where do we go from here in India? How do we grow this ecosystem? Where do we lack? What progress have we made, and what do we need to do to truly make India a hub for events?
I think this was a stage that was long in coming. It's finally arrived. The first time the events business was ever mentioned in the country's economic survey was this year.
Yep.
And that means it's been recognized as an industry. The first time the live events or events business has ever been mentioned in the finance bill or the finance minister's speech was also this year, a few days ago. So, in some respects, we're at the beginning of a big, long journey. The mega journey is just going to begin. And we are right at that starting point. It's a new starting point, but it's a starting point. The fact that live experiences, live events have become part of economic policy, the fact that it's part of economic development is really the game changer. Because suddenly, every government in India wants to change their policies. They want to change their licensing. They want to work together with event managers and tour operators and hotels and everybody. There's a recognition that if an event happens, it transforms the economy. I'll give you just two simple stories that I was part of, and hence I can testify that that's the case. We did IFA in our 25th year just a few months ago in Jaipur. Now, everything in Jaipur happens at one end of Jaipur, the Cuckoos area, which is premium, etc., etc. That's where the Fairmont, Raffles, all of them are there. And we did it in another area, which is not really the same rates. It's at least about 30 to 50% cheaper. Not because of the price we did it there, but availability and the fact that it was close to the airport. All concerts happen over there. I mean, the adjoining hotel is no hotel. So you can get a sense of the dimension. One side you're talking Fairmont, the other side you're talking no hotel. Post IFA, the prices in that area has gone up by 35%.
For good.
For good. Not just of hotels, land, real estate, rentals, the works. Industrial bells sections out there in that area are now being converted to residential, business parks, etc., etc. So, I mean, that's transformation. A few weeks ago, maybe a month ago, we did a wedding in Udaipur. You ever heard of the billionaire wedding? Have you heard of it? Where instead of anyone else, Jennifer Lopez was there, and instead of any of you, Donald Trump Jr. was attending it. Okay? So, basically, that wedding happened. It happened, we took over 3, 4, 5 hotels in that area. Beautiful, everything done. Just the hype around it, just the excitement around it, just the premiumness of what was done transformed the pricing in Udaipur by 35%. It's all gone up. And I hate to say it. We've ended up pushing the prices up because the surge in demand, etc. So, and that's one wedding, one film awards event. Now, can you imagine when you have an F1 happening regularly? Can you imagine what happens when you're doing a FIFA and it's happening regularly? Can you imagine you're doing IPL and those matches are happening at regular intervals? So there's a predictability about it. If you're able to do a predictability, if you're able to build places, if you're able to build event venues. So infrastructure is lacking across the country. So event venue, you got one Bharat Mandapam. Now the country has decided to build at least 8, 10 more Mandapams across the country. So Rajasthan is building one. Mumbai is looking at doing one. I mean, look at what Geo Convention Center has done to the BKC complex or to Mumbai. Many of these conferences would never happen. Even OTM would not have happened if not for Geo Convention Center.
We were in NESCO, but yes, we're better off. I'm not complaining.
Yeah. So I'm saying each of these things are happening, and it's happening at regular intervals with high frequency, etc. So venues is one challenge. Airports, not enough flights. You're spending more time waiting for an aircraft than flying in air. Okay? Then if you look at licensing, that's a big challenge for events and programs, etc. But that's being eased out through this live event development cell. We're making all the chief secretaries, making all the ministries work together with the industry. So literally when you go there to that meeting, one side is the entire industry, all the key bodies, and the other side is everyone from various ministries. Can you imagine Home Ministry sitting down there? Sports Authority of India, MSME, tourism, culture, finance services. All of them are sitting down. I've never seen that before. I've been through a lot and a long journey. But you don't find that kind of collaboration. And they're all sitting down there not to fight with each other, not to fight with the industry, not to say no, but to listen and to see what they can say yes about. There's a transformation in India, the transformation in the government, there's a transformation in the mindset. And I'm telling you that I've got gooseflesh when I'm talking because I've seen it happen just 2-3 days ago. India's changing, India's changed. And that change is going to be reflected in this live experiences business. We're all going to find it easier, a lot more exciting, and more events are going to happen on a regular basis, sporadic, with great government support. And they're opening the doors and windows for this economic opportunity. And they're not defining it as live experiences. It's no longer taboo word. Entertainment is no longer a taboo word. Now, entertainment, event experiences are the catchword. So you mentioned that you're from the live events experience of business. The police commissioner, the collector, all of them begin to embrace you. They begin to talk to you with great love and great affection because you're making a difference. Go to the Northeast, you'll see that impact. You go to many of the key states across the country, you'll see that impact. And it's awesome that India has changed as fast and as effectively. And credit goes to the Honorable Prime Minister for having led this and seen the opportunity.
Interesting. Uttam, we were chatting off stage. I was very, pleasantly surprised to learn that Head Out is a global company and the team just happens to be in India. So I'm sure you're sitting on a lot of data about how India is different, both as a market, maybe as a destination as well. Tell us from the outside in, what does it look like and how is India different from the world when it comes to events, experiences, travel?
Yeah, great question, Monk. So very clearly what we are seeing as a global trend, especially with the millennials, is, as you mentioned, right, the funnel has completely reversed. People are first saying, I want to go to Abu Dhabi for F1. They are not saying, I want to go to Abu Dhabi, right? They are going to Cherry Blossom, they are going to Japan, right? That's what has changed. Globally, that's a very clear trend. One big clear trend we see is the share of spend on a holiday on experiences, right? Globally, I think that number is anywhere between 25 to 30%. India, it's increasing definitely, but I think, whatever we remember of travel, we were like, okay, we are going to Australia and then we'll figure out what we'll do there, right? But that's changing. Today, India is probably spending 10% on experiences and the rest on flights and hotels, right? But as the purse increases, the share of experiences will increase exponentially. That's a very clear change we are seeing. And one very interesting global trend where I'm trying to bring the AI piece in it, right? If you, for example, go to a venue today and you're trying to experience, say, a museum, right? Today, only 25-30% of the people buy the audio guide, right? And only 5% of the people actually take a physical guide because you can't really afford it, right? I think that is what needs to change because you need to really be able to experience the venues much better. And that's what, we believe AI can do is to essentially augment the quality of experience when somebody is going and visiting these venues or taking any of these experiences, right? And to that, we have actually built the world's first AI tour guide, right? So when you actually go to London today and visit a British Museum or a Westminster Abbey, you can actually have an AI tour guide on your app, which you can interact with, right? It will talk to you in your language, right? You can go at your own pace. You can use your own headphones, right? I think that is the blend of AI and real-life experiences. It's not either or. It's together, how can the quality of experience improve? And that will be true for everyone because we see the same trend in millennials in India as well, right? Folks in my team or, the next generation, they are not talking about going to a place. They're talking about experiences. And I think that is partly driven by the whole, I think she spoke about the social acceptance or, if you may call it's a social FOMO, right? But that's real, right?
Yeah. Interesting. I have a follow-up with you. You told me you're now working more with the B2B ecosystem, right? The TBOs and the TripJacks of the world. And that's an ecosystem that's very close to our hearts because that's what pays our bills, right? So how do you see this, with your AI tour guide? Do you see travelers booking more online, picking and choosing themselves, and hence sort of disintermediating? Or do you see, how do you see the travel agent and the maybe as SMB travel agents playing a role there? Because we might have a lot of them in the audience here today.
No, look, there's a reason why we are moving to B2B also, right? Because we fundamentally believe that the role of the offline travel agent has been important, will continue to be important, right? And therefore, we are building products for that ecosystem now, right? Yes, we've been a B2C company, but we really believe that it's a very big piece of the ecosystem, right? And yes, that offline to online shift is happening, but I think it's a very long drawn process. Even today, flights have a 40-45% penetration, right? Experiences are still like in single digits. So I would actually say that the offline agents, the business should actually start spending more time, energy on experiences as a category, because that's going to be the 25-30% share of the wallet, right? And that is where actually, if you think about it, it is not standardized. You can create a difference, right? A flight is a flight at the end of the day. You can only give 4 options to go to Japan, right? But in experiences, just a Vatican tour can have actually 10 different choices, and that is where you can add value, that this is the best value for money for you if you want to do a Vatican tour. So I think the role of offline, especially from an experiences point of view, is definitely there, right?
Would anyone like to chime in on anything that was said?
I think when you think of technology, you think of AI, you're right, it's an enabler. It's your perfect partner, because it may cost you very little to have the technology accompany you right through, because right through it's enhancing your experience, informing you, educating you, guiding you, and helping you get there. Importantly, it's also a great tool to keep that memory. You're going there for memories. It stays in your heart, stays in your mind, stays in your being. But those pictures, those videos, a lot of that can come alive through technology, your timelines, your different aspects, etc. And if you look at it, AI and technology are not anti-live experiences. They are your perfect partner for live experiences. How much you use it enhances the live experience. How little you use it actually makes the live experience dead. So I'd encourage everyone to use it as much as you can, because that's the best way to get there faster, better, and keep the memory forever.
Right. Chitra, Daniel, you were saying something?
No.
Okay. Chitra, let's switch gears. I want to ask you about where the opportunity is now, because live tourism, I read, maybe has been making the headlines since a year or more now. Where's the opportunity in 2026, both for your organization and maybe the budding entrepreneurs or aspiring professionals in the room who would like to make use of this trend?
Clearly, one option is the experience-led companies and organizations, where they have to patch in is create bundling. When I say bundling, it means an event ticket, combine it with stay, combine it with transfers, combine it with local experiences. Your entire package is much higher. Now, where there are multiple advantages. One, when you club it with an event or a festival or any cultural activity, the sense of urgency increases. We've seen this across whenever we have a tour which is combined with a time-bound experience. What ends up happening is there's faster conversion because there's a sense of urgency. The tickets will get sold out, right? There's a sense of FOMO that people have, which leads to this. There's also an expectation in the mind of the customer, very clearly, that they might end up paying a little higher. And they're okay to do that because that's the expectation inbuilt. The negotiation is lesser, so the amount of spend also increases. The third thing that happens is most people, when they do this, experience-led travel or event-based travel, they do this in groups. They go together as friends, they go together as a family. And that increases the spends again and the group size. So all in all three of them are very interesting levers to play. And I think companies which are focusing on travel in any sector, if we combine events and package things around it, I think that's a great way to scale.
Daniel, where's the opportunity? You've spent long years in the industry.
Yeah. I think I've seen the industry move from somebody walking into a store And when we started our careers, we were known as the doctors of travel, where you would tell the client what to buy. I mean, and through a brochure. I think that's completely reversed now, right? I mean, if you ask a guy who's sitting on a coach tour today, so let's say a tour manager in those days, everybody would depend on him to tell them what to see and where to go. And today his job has become irrelevant, right? Because he's got a phone in his hand. But I just want to touch upon AI a bit. Like, I'll just give you a significant change that at DreamSetCo that we're doing. We're building the whole digital piece right now. So, like a couple of days back, there was a discussion about how do you build SEO and all this stuff. I know there was this, our tech team came back and saying SEO is dead now, so it's GEO, right? So, so the world's moving very, very fast. Just to give you a sense, people who used to do SEO or search on Google, which were about 7% in 23, it's moved to 35% in 24, and apparently in 25, it was upwards of 75%. Now, that's how fast, I mean, ourselves, right? How many times do you go to Google, or you go to OpenAI or Cloud, or these kind of things? So it's significantly changing at a rapid pace. And just to add to your point, I think at our place as well, we're building a AI concierge, where we seriously believe there's a great opportunity through AI to enable, at least at the service layer, for our customers, right? I think because obviously in this business, and most of the entrepreneurs who are sitting here, we are always intermediaries who only earn a certain commissions on products that we sell. We don't own hotels, or we are never going to own IPs and stuff like that abroad, right? So you'll always, your margins are always going to be that 10 to 15%, 20%. And if you have to move that upwards, you will have to at some point cut cost of humans, right? So I think that's the opportunity that I see. How can I reach out, sell more? Obviously, live experiences needs a lot of human beings to be part of. But at least the service layer, where all you can automate, where all you can use AI to decrease that burden on costs, I think that will be a significant, very, very important factor in the travel business, at least.
Uttam, where's the opportunity, and what's the biggest growth lever for Head Out in 2026?
Opportunity. We still see the opportunity in the real life experiences space. We are now, from a Head Out perspective, we are now going 4x in terms of our penetration. We are currently in 400 cities. We are going to 1,600 cities in the next 2 years, which is enabled by AI, because a lot of the work that we used to do physically is now being done by AI. But for the audience, I think, and I'm repeating myself, but please start focusing on this as a space, because not just the wallet share, but even your margin share, right? How much margin can you make on a flight, right? And versus how much margin you can make on experiences. As a travel agent, probably the margins that you can make are 4 to 5x. And if that wallet share becomes 20, 25%, which is almost, equal to a flight or maybe slightly lower, then this is a 5x bigger pool in terms of margin that you can make versus, a flight or a hotel.
I have a whole list of questions, but I see time's up, so we can maybe do a couple of quick questions from the audience. There's one here.
Good evening. My name is Milan. I'm from Let's Take a Break. And Let's Take a Break is like a small-time agency. We take care of families. So my question is to Chitraji and Uttam sir both. You said that the offer needs to be bundled, and you need to, lead it with experiences. And you just said that experiences pool is like in single digits, not even actually crossing 10%. So as a travel agent, how do I actually, push it to my network, or maybe reach out to a new network who value the experiences, so they're gonna, pay me that money so I can build it on the experience, and then the rest of the flights, hotels, things can come on. That's the question.
I think it's all about storytelling. And I'll tell you why. It's the same hotel that everybody can sell. It's the same flight ticket that everybody can sell. What is different that you will sell? We always talk about value proposition. That's the customer is looking for, right? It's the unique selling point that we say, okay, my product is different from others. And that's where experience layer comes in, right? That's where value proposition comes in. So it's about how you package and how you story tell. But this is a very important lever there.
If I may add, so what happens is when people book their package offline a couple of months in advance, they would typically, from an experiences point of view, book only that one experience which may not be available at that point, or that's the most common experience, right? But I think what you can do is you can actually, and then they end up booking some of these experiences directly when they are there offline, right? So maybe what you can start doing is create a more comprehensive package. As ma'am said, add more story to what some of the other experiences are about. Discover a lot more, because now discovery is much easier, right? If you can bundle a package with a lot more experiences, and even if you can get 30% of the additional experiences booked through you, it will make a significant difference.
Understood. Thank you, both of you.
Yes.
नमस्ते, आई एम भाविश बजाज. सो फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल उत्तम भैया, आपकी जो वेबसाइट है वही एक एक्सपीरियंस है. मैंने लास्ट टाइम सुना था, देखा था OTM पे ही, फिर मैंने पूरी वेबसाइट छान मारी, मेरे को बहुत प्यारा लगा. और मेरे को वो सेम चीज़ हमारे भारत के लिए चाहिए. जैसे आपने यूरोप को पूरा कवर कर रखा है, सारी सिटीज़ को, अलग अलग हर चीज़ को. सो मेरा एक ही क्वेश्चन है, वो है कि हम AI की बात कर रहे हैं, इट्स वेरी गुड एंड आई एम कंटेंट क्रिएटर इन दैट फील्ड ऑल्सो. बट हम AI को, या एक पर्टिकुलरली बात करें कि AI के काम को, जैसे कहते हैं ना कि भाई फीडिंग टू AI, उसका क्या पर्सपेक्टिव है, या फिर वो हम हमारे भारत के लिए कैसे कर सकते हैं? हमारे भारत की इंफॉर्मेशन ही नहीं है अभी तक, पूरा ऑनलाइन डाटा ही नहीं है अभी तक. जो रियल एक्सपीरियंसेस, ऑथेंटिक एक्सपीरियंसेस जो हमारे राजस्थान में है, जो हमारे बीकानेर में है, वो अभी तक आया ही नहीं है. पॉइंट ही मतलब ऑनलाइन या गूगल पे ही नहीं है, तो AI पे कैसे आएगा?
बहुत सही सवाल है आपका. मैं बात कर रहे थे इसके बारे में. से उत्तम.
और दूसरी चीज़ ये कि
एक बिकॉज वी आर शॉर्ट ऑन टाइम.
ओके,
सॉरी टू इंटरप्ट.
उसमें एक और पॉइंट ऐड कर रहा हूँ कि उसमें हम एज अ इंडिविजुअल क्या कर सकते हैं और उसको कैसे एक सिस्टमेटिक मैनर में लेके आ सकते हैं.
उत्तम,
प्रॉफिट्स,
अगर आप हिंदी बोलते हैं तो हिंदी में जवाब दीजिए.
हाँ, हिंदी में, तो ताकि आप एक्चुअल भावना बता पाओगे उसमें, जो मेरी भावना उसको सिग्निफाई कर पाओगे. मे बी इट्स, मैं हिंदी को प्राउड कर,
मैं कोशिश करता हूँ. पहले तो थैंक यू, आपने जो हेड आउट के वेबसाइट के बारे में जो बात बोली, थैंक यू सो मच, रियली अप्रिशिएट इट, बिकॉज हमारी कोशिश हमेशा वही रहती है. तो जब आप लोगों से ये सुनने को मिलता है तो बहुत अच्छा लगता है. आपका दूसरा क्वेश्चन काफ़ी डिफिकल्ट है. पहले मैं ये बता देता हूँ कि हम इंडिया में आज क्यों नहीं हैं. सो हेड आउट में आज इंडिया के एक्सपीरियंसेस नहीं हैं, क्योंकि मेनली इंडिया में जो एक्सपीरियंसेस आज हैं वो ऑनलाइन एज इन्वेंट्री अवेलेबल नहीं है. मेरे पास API पे मैं ताजमहल या कुतुब मीनार मैं नहीं बेच सकता, बिकॉज वो इनेबल नहीं की गई हैं अभी तक. और मेरे को एज ए कंज्यूमर, अगर मेरे को कोई सपोज ऑस्ट्रेलिया से आ रहा है या जापान से आ रहा है, उसने अगर टिकट बुक करी है मेरे थ्रू ताजमहल की, तो आई हैव टू गिव हिम एश्योरेंस कि भाई आपको टिकट मिली है, वहाँ पे इन्वेंट्री है अवेलेबल उस स्लॉट पे, राइट? ऐसा नहीं हो सकता कि वो वहाँ जाए और वो स्लॉट फुल है, उसको वहाँ पे एडमिशन ना मिले. ये हमारा आज सबसे बड़ा चैलेंज है. और इंडिया में आज अगर आप देखें, लाइव एक्सपीरियंस वगैरह छोड़ के मैक्सिमम जो एक्सपीरियंसेस हैं, जैसे आप राजस्थान में बोल रही हैं, मोस्ट ऑफ दीज आर ASI ओन्ड, राइट? दीज आर वेन्यूज़ जहाँ की आज बहुत कोशिश हो रही है. आई थिंक डिस्ट्रिक्ट ने काफ़ी काम किया है इस पर, एंड वी रियली अप्रिशिएट दैट. तो जब ये इकोसिस्टम इनेबल हो जाएगा, तब ये हमारे लिए इससे बड़ी दुख की कोई बात ही नहीं कि हम सब 500 लोग इंडिया में बैठे हैं बट इंडिया में कुछ नहीं बेच रहे, राइट? ये बड़ी विडंबना है हमारे लिए एक्चुअली. बट आई होप द हिंदी वर्क्स. बट सो मैं ये बोलना चाह रहा हूँ कि ये चीज़ थोड़ा सा एक इकोसिस्टम प्ले है. ये खाली हमारे करने से या हमारे वेबसाइट पे डालने से नहीं होगा. और थोड़ा जैसे वॉकिंग टूर्स हैं, आप अगर बाहर जाते हैं तो कुकिंग टूर्स हैं, वॉकिंग टूर्स हैं, वो इकोसिस्टम क्रिएशन अभी इंडिया में हुआ नहीं है. वो बहुत ही अर्ली स्टेजेस पे है. एक्सपीरियंसेस होते हैं इवेंट्स के नाम पे, बट आज रोज़मर्रा में अगर कोई किसी भी दिन आया हुआ है और उसे कोई एक्सपीरियंस करना है, तो वो एक्सपीरियंस इंडिया में सप्लाई बहुत कम है आज के डेट में.
इस पर मैं एक पॉइंट ऐड करती हूँ. सो इंडिया में एक्सपीरियंसेस जो हैं भी, उनकी क्वालिटी ऑफ सर्विस कंट्रोल करना बहुत हार्ड है. सो हमारी वेबसाइट पे बहुत एक्सपीरियंसेस लिस्टेड हैं, लेकिन जब हम उन्हें बेचने जाते हैं ना, तो हमें समझ में आता है कि हम कस्टमर के एक्सपीरियंस के साथ खेल लेंगे, एंड देन वी एंड अप सेइंग कि अच्छा इसको बेचेंगे, इसको नहीं बेचेंगे. हम कह रहे हैं रिवर राफ्टिंग करानी है ऋषिकेश में, वहाँ 500 लोग रिवर राफ्टिंग करा रहे हैं, 500 ऑपरेटर्स. कितनों के पास लाइसेंस है वैलिड? अगर आप जाके देखेंगे तो शायद 100 से भी कम के पास होगा. तो यानी एक्सपीरियंस को लिस्ट करने से पहले मुझे ग्राउंड पे सब चेक करना है, मुझे एसओपी बनाना है, उसके बाद मुझे रेगुलर सरप्राइज चेक्स करना है, क्योंकि अगर कोई इंसिडेंट हो गया तो किसका ब्रांड डैमेज होगा और क्या होगा कस्टमर के साथ. तो क्या होता है, स्ट्रगल इतनी डीप है कि बनाने के बाद, लिस्ट करने के बाद, मार्केट करने के बाद, एक एक्सपीरियंस कंपनी बनने के बाद हम सोचते हैं क्या इसको बेचना है कि नहीं बेचना है. सो लेट इट रिमेन ऑन द वेबसाइट फॉर एजुकेशन एंड अवेयरनेस. There will be a day when we will be in a position to say the quality is improving, maybe audits are improving, things are changing, and there have to be things happening from the central government also. It's not something which can be done by a private body or a private company beyond a point, right? So that makes a showstopper at certain points.
It's a very good note to end. By being here, all of you today have engaged in live tourism. So please feel free to catch our panelists off stage. My personal apologies to the next moderator for extending the time, but thank you. I've learned a lot despite being in the events ecosystem. Thank you all.